Well, I guess we're live. What's going on, Bobby?
Hi, everybody. Let's get ready to rumble.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go. It's this kind of party.
Weekend Hangover.
Yes.
Episode 15.
15 episodes of this crap. It's awesome.
Oh, man. I gotta coordinate my computer situation here.
All right. So, obviously, we've been kind of busy. And I was traveling last week. Couldn't get the Weekend Hangover done. But, we've got some storylines. Obviously, World Superbike is what it is. The American dude, Hayden Gilliam, went over there, did the thing, which is great.
Which was awesome because the post was like, hey, I'm going somewhere. Guess where it is? And we're like, oh, man, this is actually really good. I had no idea.
And then, watching the races and stuff. I mean, I'm a total scumbag, and I'll admit, I didn't watch Super Sport. Sorry. But World Superbike, holy shit. Race 2 was spicy. Really something. It was, dude. And then obviously, like every week, there's some new guy that's kind of in the front that hasn't been in a minute. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Jordan, Vandermark, Vandermark was in the front for like a hot minute.
It was awesome. Yeah. He was rolling really good.
And the Honda guys were kind of going okay too,
Yeah. So they were picking it up and it was just a good mix of people, but again, TopRak.
Yeah, dude. So last week I've been having this like crazy month of motorbike madness, basically.
Dude, you're doing it for all of us, man.
Oh my God, dude. Like I've had in the last month, I rode Buttonwillow for 2 days. I rode Laguna Seca and then last week. And then, dude, I got home from Laguna Seca at 11 o'clock Tuesday night and I got picked up at 4:30 in the morning Wednesday to fly to fucking Detroit, bro.
Yeah.
Like I flew to Detroit to go ride Grattan. Like the Russ Litt and his whole, his whole crew, they invited me out. And, I rode Russ's bike, his R1 for 2 days at Grattan. I guess you could say it's sort of like their Streets of Willow, because it's like cheap and shitty,
Yeah, my buddy John Hawkins, he had the track record at one point.
Oh yeah,
600, and on Pirellis. Anyways,
I was on Michelin.
He'd always told me
Russ's bike had Michelins. They were weird. I'm not gonna lie. And I've spent the rest of the time since I've been here sleeping.
Oh, there's Russ. Russ is on right now.
Dude, Russ is on. Thanks for the
comment. I'm gonna have to come up there, man.
Yeah, dude, it was rad. It was rad, and I know those guys are doing a tour and stuff. So who knows? Maybe we'll get to ride with them a little bit more next year.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna schedule some more stuff.
So what's up with you? What are you doing? Banging nails?
What am I doing? Banging nails. I got my work boots on. That's for sure.
That's something.
Yeah, I've been getting my house all the projects that I've been. You know, I need a couple more days, sweetie, or whatever. Put them off. Now they're all coming to a head because we're putting our house on the market this weekend.
Oh wow.
And then I'm leaving for Kansas City Friday. And I'm going to try to make a stop in the OWB. Got to visit the statue. And of course. Maybe my bud Jiggy Dog will be around. I was texting with him to see if I could go grab some lunch or something.
Dude, I still say there's something in the water in OWB, man.
I think
or at least there was, 20 years ago.
No, it's still there. There's still remnants of that stream. For sure.
So the storylines, right? I mean, obviously the weekend happened, whatever, but there's a lot of silly season shit going on, not only in MotoGP, but in World Superbike. So you'd had a little bit of musical chairs going on there. It looks like, the team that Gerloff's riding for is kind of folding up. So Scott Redding is still going to stay with the BMW on a different team, I suspect. But then,
which is
Gigi's going to
Puccetti,
whatever, man. Like,
that's Puccetti is
they've been around for a minute.
Yeah, that's the Elf bike that Tito Rabat's riding, and then the Puccetti was also where TopRak was riding that bike when he first got into World Superbike and podiumed, and I think he won a race on that bike. Back when the Cowie was good,
not that particular bike, but
when the Cowie was good, good. Yeah, and then obviously it looks like Bautista's out and Jack Miller's in, maybe. That was my whole thing. I wanted Jack. I'm like, dude, World Superbike is going to be lit with Redding and Jack Miller. Oh man, it's gonna be nuts. I love it. Jack is such a awesome just presence in the paddock, and
yeah,
it's just going to make MotoGP boring. Whoa, who's this guy? Lurking in the shadows.
He's got his microphone muted still. We told him we were just gonna jump him in. And yeah, dude, maybe turn your light back on, dude, so we can see your face. So yeah, Hayden Gilliam, he's doing the best Bobby Fong impression.
Never mind.
Oh no, you don't have Taco Bell internet anymore. You're back home.
Can y'all hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you just fine, buddy.
Yep.
All right, good deal.
Yeah, man.
Sorry, it's been a day.
It's all good, brother.
Yeah, dude,
we're just happy you could join us. We're really stoked that you were able to join us.
Yeah.
I know you've had a wild like week and a half, so 2 weeks now, I guess. So
yeah. You went over there. You went over there, did the thing.
Yeah, I did it. I went over. I don't know, how, it was an awesome experience. It was a last second thing, filling in for Taryn McKenzie, and getting to hop on Pirellis onto a Honda World Superbike, all stuff I've never seen or touched before. So it was cool. It was fun. It was different. It was a tough track to get tossed into, especially with those guys being, in the swing of things and really going for it. It was a tough weekend, but man, it was so much fun. I learned a lot and made some really good connections. The team was really, really awesome to work with, and it was cool. I really enjoyed it.
How was Midori? Was she like super chill and just like stoked to have you there and just
I didn't get to meet Midori. She wasn't there. She had some meetings with sponsors and everything. So she actually didn't end up getting there. So I talked to her on the phone Sunday at Laguna, and that was the extent of my conversations with her. The rest of it was just with the team and everybody trying to get stuff planned out. So
yeah.
So how different was that World Superbike Honda than the one that you ride on the regular out here?
It was very, 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 very different.
Well, tell us, man.
It was, it was. I don't think there's a single thing on that bike that is the same. Like the engine covers, maybe.
Oil filter. The oil filter's got to be the same, right?
I mean, but it's like they've got the specialty frames, swing arms, triple clamps. Like they've got all the Pirelli stuff. I don't know what wheels they ran. Maybe they were running Dimag wheels. Who knows?
Yeah.
Then maybe that was the same. But I mean, even I had a finger brake.
Oh yeah.
And so I had the clutch all up at a weird angle.
Yeah, or it sits like that.
Oh yeah, I stalled it out like 4 times going to do practice starts and everything because I'd pull in the brake and not the clutch.
Man.
It was interesting, and the way they've got the bike set up is just like it was eye opening. The way those guys ride the bikes and with those tires and everything, it's completely backwards of how my bike here is set up. So it just like every session was just learning and trying to figure out how I liked or how I needed the bike to be and kind of making steps in a direction. And once we got to one point, then it'd start kind of going backwards. So then we'd have to start going a different direction. And it was really, really good. I think I wish I had more time.
Yeah.
And then, maybe at a little bit easier track. I thought on TV, I thought that track was going to be pretty simple, and holy crap, it's not simple.
Dude, that track looks tough, man.
See, on TV, it looks flat and easy, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. And you get there, and you're on the side of the tire so much and at full throttle. I mean, it was tough, and it's like even just being put offline was a couple tenths of a second. And so it was a big step, deep pond over there. And I mean, heck, half of the field, if not more, is, you know, a world champion of something.
Right.
So honestly, I'm just happy I didn't get lapped. You know, I didn't, the 2 full length races, I didn't have the slowest lap of the race. You know, it was good. I was working towards it, and just wish I had more time. I enjoyed the crap out of it. I had so much fun. And
well, that's quite the task, dude. Like, to go over there and ride some other dude's bike on some other tires on a track you've never been to, like, and expect to like race against the best dudes in the world.
Yeah,
that's a task, bro.
Yeah, and you were 3 seconds behind Taddy on the last race, which was huge. I thought that was an awesome effort, dude. Because I watched the ticker and I saw him go by. I'm like, all right, come on, 1,000, 2, 1,000, and then he went by. I was like, oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. Like the first race, I think looking at the sheet after the race, you know, my name was on the sheet like 4 or 5 times from blasting off turn 1 or running off somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Like I made a lot of mistakes in race 1, and then Super Pole race, I just like the big thing. It's a lot like how the guys at the front here are with the Dunlops. They can just throw down the times early and then kind of manage it. And it's the same way with those guys. They've got such good feel with those tires and their bikes and everything. They can throw them down quick and then you know. So the first 3-4 laps of all 3 of the races, I would lose 5 seconds to Leandro or whoever else was right there. And so then it was just trying to make it up. And yeah, that was the frustrating part, because then I'd start getting close and then I'd get all antsy and then I'd make a little mistake. So like actually I was right on him in race 2 and then ended up going through the gravel again in turn 1. And yeah, I was happy I didn't crash the thing.
Yeah, no, you didn't bend it at all.
Good.
It looked like a crazy up and down the gearbox kind of racetrack, right? Like 6 gear down the straight and then down to first.
Yeah. And that was the thing, you know, I don't use first gear ever at any track we go to. I avoid it at all costs. And
how come?
They've got all the neutral lockout. I don't even want to try and going through neutral. And so they have the neutral lockout stuff, and that was cool. It was crazy because you could just bang, 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 just go straight from 6th to 1st and rear wheel off the ground, and it was cool. But yeah, it was a lot of shifting on the side of the tire. Like it was so much work, and I was not prepared for it.
Like, how do you feel? I mean, honestly, after you've done it and you spent the weekend there, like, how do you feel your fitness for World Superbike is?
It was fine. It was a hot weekend, and then, you know, there was no AC anywhere. Yeah. And so I was like, I remember that whenever I was in Rookies Cup, but I had forgotten about it all. And then, you know, and that paddock, the way it is, it's a big paddock, but it's real narrow. And, you know, the way all their stuff is, we were the very last garage, and where Tech was, so we were at the very end of the front straight, and where Tech was at the far other end of the front straight. Ooh. And like there's like 2 scooters per team. And so after every single race, every session, I had to walk the entire length of the track pretty much to get back. And so like the racing wasn't really that hard. It was more the walk after the race. I was so hot, sitting in the sun, beaten down. And I'm like, man, this sucks. And then I can't even cool off because there's no AC anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like,
oh, man. Yeah, you brought your work boots for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And so it was, really, like, I mean, it was definitely tough. 22 laps was a lot of freaking time.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm used to stock 1,000 and baggers. We only get like
5 to 12 laps.
Combined, we get 16 laps. So it was definitely a lot of racing, but like the first race was really tough, and then but by the second full length race, I felt pretty good just because I was getting more comfortable and figuring things out a little bit and wasn't having to fight so hard. But yeah, definitely would have to work on it a little bit.
How stiff was that bike?
It was cool. Like I took Mark Young, my crew chief, over there with me, and he's like team manager and stuff here too.
Yeah.
And we're progressing towards getting a lot of that stuff for next year for our bike. And so he was wanting to kind of go see what they have kind of, and we had actually talked about it a couple weeks before this about just trying to see if we could get on one of those bikes just to see what we would like to have. And
that's crazy.
We both looked at each other like, well, what are the odds? And so it was cool. Like there's definitely some stuff that I would want to try differently. Like I would want to try a stock frame with their swing arm and triples.
Oh,
before going, like I would want to try a stock frame back to back with their stuff because their bikes are really long and really low, and I just felt like it was too long. Like I couldn't get the bike to turn, and so I would want to try some stuff and see.
Yeah. So I was going to bring that up. I've been talking to Mark before, and I talked to him at Laguna, right? And I was like, okay, so you guys going to build a full Superbike next year or what, dude? Like, you guys going to do the thing? And he was real coy about it, Yeah.
But that's the plan. Like speaking with Honda and kind of what their plan is, like they're focused on, they want stock 1,000 and all that right now. And with me and Ashton doing as well as we are, and then even Gabriel at the beginning of the year, they're super pumped with how things are going. And I don't know, they're trying to see, we're trying to figure out what kind of like what they can do to help in the future, and they're getting pulled from so many different directions too. So it's, I don't know, if we can get some help from them, the plan is to really start making strides and go in Superbike racing. But if we can't get any factory support, it's just tough to do it. It's so expensive, and then trying to get the parts and all that, you got to have so many spares because whenever I do crash, I tend to destroy things, and so they're never small crashes. So we got to have spares.
Like you've wadded up a couple bikes. Like I don't know, I think you wrote one off, didn't you?
No.
Damn near. They look like damn near.
The Brainerd one was rough. It definitely beat stuff, but it actually looked a lot worse than what it was on.
Okay.
So
that's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, that was good. And so and then the Ridge was just a stupid little crash, and I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, luckily the Brainerd one didn't really hurt too much. We thought the frame might be bent. Actually, the worst thing on it was the master cylinder from the front brake lever just somehow smashed into the fork and bent the top tube.
Oh, geez.
And other than that, everything was good. So
wow, it's not bad.
Yeah. So we got.
So what do you think of the level over there? Like you were saying, the World Championship thing, and I've used that saying that's like, over here we have, we had one Gagne, but now we have Gagne and a bunch of murderers, right? But over there, it's like you got a whole paddock of murderers.
Yeah,
right?
It's like we definitely. It seems, which obviously is just one weekend being over there, but it seems like here a few of the guys will be on it one weekend, and a couple of them will be kind of off, and then the next weekend it might be reversed. Like it doesn't seem like we've had a weekend yet where everybody's on it. And over there, I think that's the biggest thing, is that every weekend those guys are on it. And there's so many of them that even if one or two of them are off, there's somebody else that's going to step up and fill that spot. And so it's just, I think I'm glad that I got this opportunity now and 2 years ago, because I definitely would not have been ready for it at all. And I think the depth of Moto America now is quite a bit deeper than what it was. And even if imagine if like Matthew and PJ and Corey were still in Superbike, like it'd be even like I thought coming into the season, I was like top 10 on the top 10 on the Honda. I was like, oh, I'll be able to make money every race. And then we got to the first there's like 11 of us that are all like that breaking into the top 10 is pretty tough right now, especially on a stock bike. And so it's like it's getting there. It's getting a lot better and a lot better than what it used to be. And that's the cool thing that I'm really glad to see. And, you know, it's getting really tight now. Like, heck, I mean, Gagne's had some off weekends. Cameron's obviously had a couple off weekends. Cameron Peterson's had a couple off weekends, but he's been really consistent. And like and then Josh is coming on strong now, and Loris has been really strong. Like, it's just, it's
a bunch of murderers.
It's getting good.
Yeah.
Like these last couple races are going to be fun.
Yeah.
So I've got a comment here by Chunky Buns. She wants to know if you took pictures of all the fancy gizmos.
We took some pictures. I tried not to, you know, I don't.
No, you can't put that on.
You can't.
No,
you can't
not
really
for the
get
gram.
deep on it. Like,
right.
Really, most of the stuff I've got is just from the on-track pictures that I'll zoom in on and be like, "Oh, look at that." But,
yeah, there you go.
And everything else is just in my head, like, "Oh yeah, this looked like this," and like it was. I mean, seeing some of the stuff is cool. Like it's pretty wild what those guys are doing with those bikes. And
yeah.
Like I thought the baggers were pretty cool, seeing what they've come from, but those things are wild.
Well, I know Danny's got that Suter swing arm still waiting around to find a home.
I know I was talking to him last night. We had dinner at my parents' house, and Danny and Mick came over, and we were talking about it. He was acting like he thinks him and Scott Jensen were talking, and they were acting they think it might fit on there.
I know, because I went to the
we're
shop.
Go grab it and try it.
I went to the shop, got back 2019, and he showed me the two Cosworth motors that were sitting there, and he's like, "Hey, know anybody wants a swing arm or some motors?" I'm like, yeah, because one of my club buddies is gonna go buy a $20,000 motor and go throw it in there, or whatever it costs.
Right.
I almost like every couple of days, I think his Facebook Marketplace ad pops up, and I'm like, man, we need to try this thing.
Yeah, I know.
But
been around since Jake wrote it.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see. I've emailed some people and sent some messages out to a few people to see if they thought it would work. Mm-hmm. And actually, I emailed Suter to see if they thought that maybe the measurements and all that stuff would line up. And so I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
maybe it might. Bike might look a little different mid Ohio. We don't know.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, like you know, it'd be kind of cool to see you creep up on a full blown Superbike all of a sudden, and you become one of those murderers too, right?
Yeah,
that's the dream. That's the hope. We'll see. Yeah. I don't know. We're working on some stuff, trying to figure something out. But it's just like I said, it's so expensive, and to get all that stuff is just, and then you know, even just bolting it on and not getting to try it.
Oh yeah.
Then you're just throwing it on for a race weekend, and you're just pretty much using a whole race weekend to test stuff. So
yeah, you want to do that.
And that, you know, and they are worth some time, but it's not worth that much time where you spend a whole weekend trying stuff and getting it sorted to where all of a sudden the second race you're all of a sudden starting to go good, but the whole weekend you're struggling up to that point. So I don't know. We'll see. We got we're gonna test in Bowling Green at Corvette Museum here 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe if I get that swing arm, maybe I'll try it.
Yeah, just you know, get the grinder out, make it fit, right?
Oh yeah.
Couple shims.
We might.
No, dude, he's from Kentucky. They're gonna use washers.
Oh yeah, we got big washers here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Might only have one wheel for it, but hey, that'll work.
Hey,
wow.
And he said I could borrow the wheel that come with it.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
All right, that works. That works.
So
what do you know? You said something about the way they ride the bikes over there too. Like, I'm assuming you're meaning the way they brake on the corner entry, right? Or is it is it all around? Because they brake like super deep.
Yeah, they do. Which are like, after riding with them, I don't think they break any later than what the guys here do. Honestly,
Okay.
I was surprised because a couple times like TopRak came by me on the front straight in the Super Pole session, and he definitely it's not so much when they break, it's how they break as they turn into the corner. Like that.
Okay.
That was where I was losing a bunch of time too. Was my brake graph kind of peaks and then tapers off, and that's just from running the Dunlops, because you just can't brake hard as you're turning in on them. Where looking at we could look at the factory Honda.
Oh yeah, Chavi.
So looking at how those guys brake, I mean their brake graphs go up and it stays at peak, and then all of a sudden it just drops away. So that's why
so it doesn't like trail off; it just drops.
It just drops, and so like I'm sitting there looking at it, I'm like, holy, how the hell are these guys not crashing more? And then so that was one thing I was having to work on, was just getting a better feel for how that works. But that's where you get those crazy pictures of TopRak and those guys.
Oh, just nosing in.
Like rear wheel off the ground as they're at like 40 degrees of lean angle. Like it's, yeah, the way the front tire works is you can put so much force into it at lean and everything. And so like it was, so like that was a big thing. And then even just how they've got the bike set up so low in the rear. It was crazy to me that these guys are able to get on the gas on the side of the tire and still the thing is turning. Because I'm getting on the gas going full throttle, and it just seemed like the thing wants to run straight off the track. And so
so they got it like a chopper.
Yeah, and so I talked to Garrett about it, and he said that that's just how everybody's got. That's like TopRak kind of started doing it, and everybody started going that way just to get all the braking force you can get, and then that's just how everybody's kind of doing it. And that's, again, like I said, I needed more time.
Yeah.
So when are you going back, dude?
We've only got one round that's over.
Yeah.
But I think everybody should be healthy on the team and all that. And and even if one of the guys wasn't, the next round is Portimao.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to get tossed into that.
Dude, I mean, Portimao, that's a whole nother thing too, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I told him before the weekend. I was like, at least it's not Portimao. And then I was like, I might have been just as okay at Portimao.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, it was a tough freaking track.
Like was it tough because of you're constantly transitioning? That section where you're just like
tons of transitions, like you're braking from left as you're like your full tilt left-handers, and then all of a sudden you're braking as you're going from left to right, and then you're having to brake super deep because that's how everybody else is doing it. And so then the bike's getting upset, and then as soon as you get into the corner, you got to go straight back to full pinned, and like there's no rest. The only rest you got was on the front straight, and then you go into a 6-second brake zone
with a chicane.
Like it was just, I mean, like even watching it back, I'm watching the video and I'm like, holy crap, the video does not do this place justice at all. Like watching it on TV, I'm like, man, this looks easy. Like how the
it's like a go-kart track on TV, and then you get there and it's not. It's Portimao basically.
Yeah,
it looks
elevation
like a mix between
or...
Roebling and CMP, like the Roebling front straight and how you come onto it, and then the chicane at CMP at the end of the Roebling straight. Yeah. And then some other the aspects of like how Roebling you transition a lot left to right, and then
it's Grattan with scenery.
There's a bunch of different, like even like Pittsburgh, it's a lot like Pittsburgh in a couple places. But it's so fast because like some of those fast, like you come out of some third gear corners and you're full tilt going up to fifth or sixth gear on the side of the tire, and then all the way back to second gear in the next corner, and then you're going third, fourth, fifth the next straight on the side of the tire. Like it's just there was so much going on. It was a lot. It was like I was tired after I got done just from thinking so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're like, this tire has has edge grip, not drive grip. So I got to think about where you're at on the side of the tire before you apply full throttle.
Yeah.
So with the add-on of the neutral lockout and using the Pirelli stuff, like how'd that work for you? You know, were you with the data guy and going, yeah, dude, I want more wheelie control right here, or how did it work for you? Because I know you don't have that shit at home.
Yeah, I was expecting the bike to be really. I was expecting to be like wild, and it was they've got it pretty tamed down.
Okay.
And so really, I think there was like one time all weekend where I had to kind of ease off the throttle because the front wheel was coming up too much. The rest of it, like they've got the thing set up really good.
But how does it work? What I mean is,
like,
you sit down with the data dude and point shit out on the track map, or like?
Yeah, like so it was. So after the session, I would sit down and I would talk to the crew chief and the data guy sitting right there listening to, and then the suspension guy there with the. And so like as I'm just going through a lap, they're all just taking notes and writing stuff down, and then afterwards, the suspension guy might ask me a couple questions, and then the data guy might ask me a couple questions. It was very streamlined. Everybody was right there taking notes as I'm talking. So it was like there wasn't really a lot of it's very fast paced. They don't miss a beat over there, and so it was really cool to see that side of it. But really, like as far as the electronic side goes, I didn't even make any changes. I told them before the weekend, I was like, if y'all want to try some stuff, test some stuff, suspension wise, chassis wise, electronics wise, like just try it. And
I'll do it.
I'll tell you what I feel, and hopefully it puts you guys in the right direction, or go the other way. And so like they were just like it was really good. They were open to what I was telling them and making changes, which I've always heard horror stories of guys going over there and teams are really against you changing the bike. And so it was really good that they were really open to just getting me comfortable. And then whenever I spoke, they listened and they made changes if I wanted changes. And so it was really cool. I'm hoping it helps them in the future. I know they've been struggling with a bunch of the drive grip. Like once the bike steps out, it just doesn't come back. And so we were working on some rear end stuff with the pivot points and all that. And I think it got better as the weekend went. Like my feelings it was getting better. So I'm hoping it translates to helping Taryn in the future. Obviously he's a lot smaller and I get a little more force to the rear tire than what he does, but
yeah.
I don't know. I'm hoping.
It's a lot,
they
dude.
enjoyed it as much as I
That
did.
is a lot.
Well, I think it's interesting because Taz, he came from a national series, rode on the 600 for a season or two, and then moved up to the Superbike. So it's not like he's never ridden a Superbike, but obviously the BSB Superbikes are like stockers with chassis improvements, and they don't have any electronics, but they run the same tires. So I do find it I feel like you guys are pretty comparable when it comes to, level of riding compared to the rest of the group. So you guys are kind of on the same plane. So I think it's a good kind of comparison between you guys. My question, so, completely off the riding thing, how was the experience being there? And you did a lot of the fan events. I saw the videos of you doing all the signings, and then they had the whole paddock show thing. What did that vibe feel like when you were there and they had the separate area for the podium and kind of all that cool stuff,
It's wild. So my wife Summer went over there with me, and she'd never been to Europe before. Actually, she'd never been out of the country before. And before me, she did motorcycle races. She was learning the whole time. And I got to do Rookies Cup whenever I was younger, so I knew a little bit of how it was going to be, but it's obviously changed a lot since I was over there. And now that I'm older, I appreciate everything a lot more. But yeah, I got to do the paddock show stuff with Michael Hill, and like I think Friday morning we get to the track, and I wasn't sleeping very good at that point because I was still jet lagged and like I was waking up 4 hours before I should have.
Yeah.
So we were getting to the track pretty early, and Friday morning we walked down the stairs. I think going into the track, we had to go down some stairs and then through a tunnel to get into the paddock. And whenever we walked down to the stairs, it was 7:30 in the morning on a Friday, and there's guys already drinking beer. Like,
it's Czech Republic, man. They're ready to rock.
And I get up to where the truck is, and there's a couple guys standing there, and they've already got they already went online and got pictures from last year and this year.
Oh wow!
Printed out, and so I was already signing autographs before.
Wow, that's hilarious.
And then she was running my helmets for me, or sorry, my helmet, because that was a whole thing. They have their FIM standards over there, and Arise US helmets don't have.
They don't work.
They don't have the barcode on them like have. So I get over there with my two helmets, and no,
that's why you had the white one.
Yeah,
I was wondering.
They took those things from me and put them in a garage for the whole weekend. I didn't even have them. And luckily, Jeff Will from Mirai got a hold of the guy Marcel over there and had him hold a helmet for me. So I got lucky there. But the riders can't even obviously this is my first race in World Superbike, and I'm nobody, and so. But the riders, they can't go anywhere. It is freaking nuts. I remember it whenever I was doing Rookies Cup in GP, how it was, but now being older and kind of being a little bit part of it, it would take her 15 minutes to walk down to a ride one way. It would take having a 30-minute round trip just because of the fans. There were so many fans packed in there, and you get down to Toprak's area and there's 100 people standing right outside of his garage waiting. And,
right.
And it's like that was really, it's, we don't have that kind of love for the sport here. We do, but it's a very small community of people, and our country's so big that everybody can't just travel to every race. Those people travel, and they're there from the crack of dawn until the sun goes down, and even later into the night. They're breathing it in, eating it up. They're a part of it. They're living it. Michael Hill, I think, said last year, Friday morning, he showed up and there was a couple guys sleeping on the paddock show stage, hungover, and they love it over there. They eat, breathe, sleep motorcycles, and it's just being a part of it now that I'm older is just really cool to see. And I wish we had a little bit more of that here, because it's very eye-opening. People enjoy motorcycles and like going to the racetrack and stuff here, but those people love it. That's what their life is over there.
Wow, man.
It's we need a Sturgis vibe. How everybody goes to Sturgis and it's just a huge thing, or Daytona Bike Week. If that amount of people and passion would go to racetracks, we would be in a whole different ball game.
Yeah. And that's what, and that is one thing that the Baggers has kind of done, is it's brought more of those people that just love motorcycle track. And, it sucks. There's only a couple of us out there right now, but that's.
Do you did you notice the paddock offering something that's attracted the people to come more than just the race, or are they there just because they want to see you guys kill each other? And gladiators.
I think it's definitely the way it's all ran, it's definitely more of a spectacle,
right?
Because of the paddock shows, they get put out in front of everybody 3, 4, 5 times a day. The podium, you ride your bike through the fans to get to the podium.
Yeah, I love that.
The whole paddock is open to them. They can go anywhere they want. And then even like the big, like, which I don't know if it's more for the fans or not, but like just the hospitality side of things, it's such a big deal over there. And like even the junior cup teams have big, massive trucks and like chefs and stuff cooking all the food and the meals 3 times a day. Like nobody misses a meal over there. And like, and if you want to go hang out somewhere, you can just go hang out somewhere. And so like, I don't know. It's definitely a little bit more of a show over there. I think our series is definitely a lot better than what it was whenever they started.
Oh yeah.
But I think, I don't know. I know me and Mark were trying to do a couple things like how they're doing over there to try and make our at least our pit setup and stuff a little bit more
fan friendly.
Yeah. And so like, I don't know. We'll see. I think as the years go on, everybody's going to see and understand that that's why, you know, that they're doing stuff over there that we just aren't doing yet. And whether it's because we can't do it or something, like, I think a lot of it is the sponsors don't pay for that stuff here.
Right.
Yeah.
Over there, the sponsors pay for that. That's what they
do.
And
so did your team have a cup of tea guy?
A cup of tea?
You know, like when I was in World Superbike over there with Attack a couple years ago, like I got to talk to the factory Yamaha team, and they had like 20 something dudes on their team full time traveling with the team. And one guy, his entire fucking job was to make cups of tea. Like, shit you not.
I don't think there was one of those guys.
No? All right.
You know, there was a couple, you know, there's.
Do you guys have the spotter guy that walks up to you and shows you video and coaches you, that kind of thing?
No, like I would talk to Taryn a little bit, and I know he was out on the track quite a bit.
Okay.
So I had a spotter.
Winners and then he was kind of eyeballing what like the factory guys were doing to kind of get us pointed in a direction too. But no, there was so much going on. I was already my headspace was full already. I couldn't get more information.
That's funny. Man. Yeah, Irate Barry says apparently the tea guy wasn't in their budget.
No, they put it somewhere else because they're like it was a tight ship in there. It was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's even to the point where they have so much tire data and pressure data and temperature data that like if the track temp goes up to a certain point, they know where their pressure needs to be so that at the middle part of the race it's at the right temp, at the right pressure, and like it's freaking even the brakes, like they have all the brake temperature sensors and like it's freaking, it is crazy how in depth they get with everything over there.
So how many bar of brake pressure was your max? You remember?
I had like 15 maybe.
15 bar, dude. That's healthy. That's,
more
that's
than
a lot.
What I do over here.
It's what?
It's more than what I do over here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, because we had a question about the comparison between the Dunlop and the Pirelli tire, and like
there's a lot of that. Yeah. I mean,
which one do you like? People, and
yeah, which Pirelli versus Dunlop. Now that you know.
Honestly, the tire was the easiest thing to kind of like the small things. I need more time to figure out, but they're each so good in their own way. Like for me, I ride better on Dunlops just because I've always ridden Dunlops.
Yeah.
I wish I could put some Dunlops on that bike to see how it would do, because that's just what I worry about. But I don't know. It's they each do their own thing really well. Like I think I definitely think right now I like the rear tire Dunlop better. The front is kind of a toss up. Like there's some stuff you can do with the Pirellis that I really like, but also like I lost the front a bunch with the Pirelli, where the Dunlop I'd never really have issues. unless I'm just way too deep on the brakes. But yeah, I think I need more time.
I bet you could get the back end of the bike to rotate better with the Dunlops.
You don't have enough data to give us a full answer.
Yeah, I don't have enough data. I need more time, more seat time.
Jury's still out.
Yeah.
So somebody in World Superbike, give this dude another shot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Or bring the bike here and just throw some Dunlops on it, and we'll see what's up.
Yeah, that too.
Or just send the parts over.
Yeah, there you go.
On my bike, and we'll get Dunlops and Pirellis. We'll just go back to back with it.
Oh, shit.
Tell American Honda to trim down them Aussie boys' budget at motocross to get you some money.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen.
They soak up a lot of that budget. I know that for sure.
They do.
So all the helmets over there are FIM certified, huh?
Yeah, they have to have the like special barcode on the chin strap and everything.
Yeah, I'm thinking both of my KYT helmets have the FIM barcode on it.
It's gonna switch.
It was funny because even I talked to Aaron, and he said whenever he did his first race, I guess the UK helmets don't have it either, and so like it's just the Euro and Japanese helmets, I guess.
Oh,
yeah. So it was funny, but we got it sorted.
I mean, you were out there with the Jack in the Box helmet, but hey,
dude, I thought it looked pretty good, man. Against that baby blue, and you had some white, so it was.
I was wondering. I was like, doesn't he have custom painted helmets? I didn't know that they had shelved your helmets for the weekend.
Yeah, no custom paints, but I was gonna wear a Nicky helmet. I took a picture with it on the bike, and I was hoping, which I mean, I know they retired his number and all that. And whenever I was doing all my licensing stuff, I tried to get 69, but they said no. Yeah. That's all good.
You're like, I'm family. Come on.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Wow. So, let's see what else we have. Yeah,
the one about the track, like if World Superbike were to come back, we had Miller, we had Laguna Seca, Brainerd back in the day. Where would you like to see World Superbike in the U.S.?
And that's a Cody Krager question.
Yeah.
Well, I know talking to everybody, like everybody over there loves Laguna and wants to be a Laguna.
Yeah.
Man, I love Miller. I love that track so much. And like those bikes, especially now, at that track would be nuts. Even our bikes at that track now would be crazy. It just sucks that we can't get the fans. There's just not enough fans out there in the mountains to show up, make it work out. But I know everybody wants to come back to Laguna. I talked to a bunch of people over there, and everybody wants to go to Laguna. And so, I don't know, maybe they can make that happen. But I don't know. Even if they could do Coda, I think it would be pretty cool.
That's what I was thinking too. If you're talking like world level,
we got the new Knoxville track coming in. That's
Ozark, right? Or
no, it's Eagle Flat Rock.
Yeah, Flat Rock. Yeah,
so right outside of Knoxville.
That'd be
not far from OWB.
No, it's only like 3.5 hours. That'd be an easy trip. I'd be testing a lot.
You'd be testing there a lot.
Yeah. Well, I'd be practicing. I'd be down there just cruising.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd go down. I'd go do Teledragon and kind of make a trip of
Listen to this fucking guy.
Dude, I got sick riding in my buddy's car. We were in a BMW at Non-Commissioned Officer Academy up there in Knoxville, and he was like, "Yeah, we got to take my BMW down to the Dragon." I'm like, "All right, we'll see. I've never been there, dude. Barf City, man." I was like, "I don't know how people ride this shit."
Say that again.
I've never been down it either.
Wow.
Super sketch.
So, like, how much riding and testing time do you ride? I mean, do you?
It just depends. Like, other than the races, the last 2 months, I haven't done any riding. But like before we went, really before Road America, we were riding a bunch because Corvette Museum here, which is an hour from my house, there's a bunch of track days there with like fast line track days, and I know N2 had a track day there, and so we get down there as I go there as much as I can. Like I love that place, and it's all local guys, and it's cool. It's always a good time, and then like Barber's not far. Road Atlanta's not far. Roebling usually has track days on off weekends, and it's not terribly far. But yeah,
I got one on 9/23 on a Monday.
Do you?
You notice, like, he's over
come
on
right
that
for
side
free.
of the country. He's on that side of the country, so he doesn't talk about coming out this way.
No, because Roebling's an hour and 45 minutes from my house in Charleston.
I have seen him out this way, though. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been a minute.
That was Rick days.
No, dude, I didn't see you at a Rick Days. I saw you at a magazine day that I was putting on at Thunderhill.
Oh, that was.
And there was a guy who writes. What?
That was 7 years ago.
Fuck, dude, crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was a magazine dude from like Road and Track or whatever, and I was giving this dude a 2-up, but before I took him out, I pulled Hayden aside. I was like, "Hey, bro, like, let's give this guy a party." You know what I mean? And I'm thinking that he's gonna do a great big wheelie right next to us or something, or they reach out and high five him or something. We go into the corner. It's like there's like, what is it? It's like the second to last corner, I guess you could say. It's a straightaway with a right-hander at the end of it, and it's pretty hard braking. I look over, and this fucking guy is full on stoppy, and like I could have touched his axle nut. Like, that's how close it was. And so, whatever, we do a lap, we come in, and the magazine guy, the car guy, is looking at us, and I was like, "Hey, how was it?" And he's like, "Oh man, that was a great time." I was like, "Stick your hand out," and he's like,
Yeah.
super funny, man.
Heck yeah. Yeah. That was a long time ago.
Dude.
Those were Cycle World days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Man in the Van days.
Oh God, I missed that. I was talking to Rick at Coda when you were sleeping in the van, because I was getting Honda setup information from Benny, and you were over there, and I was like, "Hey Rick, how's things going in the van, man?" He's like, "Oh, I didn't ride in this thing." He's like, "That was all Hayden."
I was by myself all.
It was a great series, though. I watched it and I loved it, and it was awesome.
I know. I wish I could do. I've thought about trying to do something like that again, but I don't know. With the kids and stuff, it's hard now.
Nah, dude.
No, that's unless you can get them to go with you, but you gotta wait. I started taking my daughter to track days when she was 5.
Oh,
so
yeah.
five and a half down to Jennings, and
I'm over here like, I take my dog to the track, so
not the same.
What?
Can't leash up the kid, dude.
Pete, you have to actually.
You can throw a leash on them.
Yeah. I mean, right? So, Joel wants to know which team and rider or hospitality were you most impressed by?
I mean, I didn't get to ride around very many people.
Okay.
So as far as riders, I don't know. That's kind of tough. That's a tough one. It's like I was hanging out in the Honda hospitality because I was riding Honda and all that, and it was super nice. It's small compared to like Kawasaki and
I was about to say,
even like those guys have like 2-3 story hospitality trucks, and like they've got like 3,000 square foot hospitality buildings. It's nuts. And they roll in Tuesday or Wednesday or something and set everything up, and then it's all broken down Sunday night and they're on the road again. And so, yeah, like the hospitality side really is the more impressive stuff. Like we took a bunch of pictures of it all.
Yeah.
Well, if we could get those manufacturers to get those double stack trailers, because they park them like side by side, they like raise up, and then they have the top folds over, and then done.
That's what. So the Patronus, the truck that we were getting dressed in, and their hauler and everything, it's one of those where it rises up. It's on the slide, and I guess it's the old Yamaha MotoGP truck.
Oh, got it.
Valentino and Jorge and them would get dressed in, and so that was kind of cool. Like I'd never been inside of one, and so seeing they've got, I think, 3 rooms up on the top level, and then the whole bottom is all workshop and all that. So that was luxury there. I sent it back to a couple of the sponsors here. I was like, hey, let's get one of these.
Let's get it on a boat.
Yeah, that's the one thing I noticed there was even like the smallest team was rolled up in a semi, like all of them. There wasn't a pickup truck or a van in the place,
There was I think one bigger box truck.
Okay.
That was the smallest. That was the smallest thing.
Yeah.
It was like it was.
It was like a was it like a Penske 26-foot box truck kind of thing?
It was bigger. It was longer than that, but yeah.
Oh wow.
But similar. Yeah, but they had a massive canopy and stuff off the side of it, and it was those guys. That's the thing is the sponsors pay for that kind of show over there, and I don't know if the sponsors here just don't. They just want their branding out there. They don't really care if it looks.
They're not in it.
Yeah, so that's the thing is we need the sponsors to see that, and then be like, okay, we got to fork over a couple extra dollars to get this kind of set up.
A couple. $2.
Couple, yeah. $4.
$4. Oh wow, okay, really stepping it up.
We're getting big here.
Yeah, it sounds like it, dude. That's amazing. I think that's the coolest thing ever that you got the opportunity to go over there and get a taste.
Oh yeah, that's the problem though. It was only a taste. And seeing Garrett, I'm like, man, I think I could come hang out over here. I could do this.
Well, speaking of, Joel was asking if he told you about the Kawasaki deal over the weekend.
Oh no,
he's got to keep that tight-lipped.
Yeah, I didn't. Which I wasn't asking what his plans were, so never came up. We were just catching up and chatting. That's good. So yeah, I'm not real nosy about that stuff.
No.
I'm like there's a lot of guys that want to know every little detail, and
you just want to see your homie.
I don't care. I just want to hang out.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah. Exactly. That was the funny thing. The whole weekend, I don't think I didn't smile once. I was even in Super Bowl, they made a little mistake and messed up on they gave me the SC1 tire.
Oh.
Super Bowl session and not the SC0, which I told them before the session. I was like, hey, I'm just going to go do a race stint because I need to just figure out these tires. I need to just figure it out and get more seat time. And I go out and I'm just going, and I come in and everybody looks all bummed. And I was like, what's going on? They're like, oh, we gave you the wrong tire. I was like, well, if you wouldn't have said anything, I would have never known. Yeah. So, I mean, and even then I was like, oh yeah, whatever, man. I was enjoying it. And that was the cool thing is, as racers, we don't get to just enjoy it anymore, and at least what it seems like. So doing something like that, no worries, no expectations, it was so good for me. Even my confidence and stuff seemed to go up as the weekend went, even though I was at the very back, and it's been a long time since I've been in that position. So
yeah,
right.
But it was cool.
Yeah, and I know that a lot of guys have tried to go over there on their one-offs and tried to make a name for themselves. Like Danny did that Moto2 ride that one time. And then, a couple other guys got their shot and they're like, all right, I got to impress everybody. And it just seemed like you're like, hey man, I'm just, like you said, I'm just happy to be here. Let's have some fun. And then, you were looking at it like, what can I take from this experience and look at all the pieces for the bike and kind of get an understanding, and then we can use that for next year, because you're already thinking coming back, let's bring this back home. Yeah And that was the cool thing, is because they told me before the weekend they didn't have any expectation, and I was like, if you guys want to try stuff, just
if I can help you, I want, obviously I'm not here to win the race. I was like, so I'm here to have a good time, put you guys on a little bit, like trying to help you guys a little bit if I can. And I don't know, see what we can do. But yeah, it was super cool to just have a stress-free weekend where I just got to ride a badass motorcycle.
Yeah.
So Martin's Life in the Hangar asks, would you go over for a whole season if you had the opportunity? Duh. Hey, let me pull your arm a little bit. Like,
I mean, definitely that, like, even just getting the call to go over, I'd never, at this point in life, like I've been doing this for a good little bit, and I kind of gave up on that expectation of ever getting over there. Like, that was definitely a bucket list thing. Like, I had two things, really, I only had two things left on my bucket list. I'm gonna have to go back and reevaluate my bucket list now. But like riding a full-blown Superbike and riding a Superbike, like, so I got to do two of those things just in one go. So it was that was pretty cool. And me and my wife have talked about it now that we've got to do it, and she's got to see it, and she's like, oh, it'd be so cool to be able to come do this. And she's asked me if I would want to, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, for sure I would have to try.
Yeah.
And I was like, it'd be tough because, you know, we got two little kids, and I definitely am not taking them with me to every single one of those races. It's like jet lag with a kid.
No, you'd have to live over there. You couldn't do it by yourself. I mean, like,
yeah.
Jeff had Riley was a little kid when Jeff went over there.
Yeah.
In 2014. So
yeah,
I know he's done it, and they lived in Lake Como and kind of hung out on that in Italy. So
yeah. So that's what I told her. I was like, well, we could, you know, if it came up, it'd be like, it's too good of a thing to pass up. But also, like, right now, everything here is going so well.
Yeah.
And, like, it's taken me a long time to get my career kind of on an upward track. I just kind of stalled out for a while, and the last few years have really been good for me, and I'm making decent money now, and have and all that, and like I don't know, it would take, I would have to sit down and really go through a lot of things and figure all that out. But I mean, if I had the opportunity, it'd be really hard to say no. So I don't know.
Look at this guy
going over there.
No, well, I mean, don't you love this guy? Like, he's real. Yeah, like, he's one of us. It seems like
work boots.
Yeah, work boots.
Cody, you got him on. Nice. Cody brought up, did anybody ask you about the bagger? Like, opposite direction. Like, were they like, oh man, I was riding the bagger?
Nobody brought it up. I did, like, at one point in the garage, I think before a session, I like heard the other crew like over there, like, kind of going bonkers for a second, and I got to look over and I see a video of me from Laguna wheeling the bagger.
Oh yeah,
all like just over there hooting and hollering, and so like that was pretty cool to see, because it was like you could tell that they thought it was cool, and I think I brought it up talking just about bikes and stuff in general. I think I like compared the bagger a little bit, and then like telling them like, oh yeah, I mean, coming from a stock bike and a bagger, this is a hell of a lot different. And so like then they would kind of get interested and ask me a little bit, but I don't know, the way it is over there, everybody's there to do a job, and so on the race weekends, those guys don't really hang out much. They're working, and then they sleep, drink their espresso, and then go back to work. And so yeah, I don't know. I think seeing it in person is one thing versus seeing it like on video, because I know like at Coda this year, a bunch of the GP guys were blown away by them once they saw them, and so I don't know.
Oh, and the lap times you were running on those things too. I mean,
yeah,
you guys were screaming.
Yeah,
They're gonna have another. They're gonna have a European bagger round at their track you just raced.
A bagger around there would be badass.
You think so?
Oh yeah. Even a 600 around there would be a ton of fun. Like 1,000 though is tough, where it's like it gets tough. Yeah, but I don't know.
Tim P wants to know if you were over there beer drinking.
No, I had a beer with dinner Sunday night. I don't drink much after the Man Van Plan days. Those days kind of burnt me out on and so yeah, I don't drink a whole lot, but we were in Czech. We were right next, we're an hour from Germany and all that. And so I had to try some local beer and stuff with dinner and yeah, but like I'm a lightweight now. Like that one beer I had, I don't even know if I drank the whole thing. I was already starting to slur my words.
So you're cheap weight now.
Track. Yeah.
Wow, man. This is great.
Yeah.
You know what, man? Like, I'm so stoked to have you on. Have it.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'm so appreciative that you jumped on with us. And it's still kind of fresh in your mind. Obviously, you haven't stopped grinning the whole time you've been on since we've been talking about it. So, I mean, that's you though. It's the best. It's the best. I wish you nothing but the best of luck, dude. Like, I want you to whoop some ass, dude. That'd be rad. Like the full Superbike here.
That's the plan. We'll see. I don't know. We got a lot of work to do to get there, but I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully by mid-Ohio we can. We've got some HRC stuff on order to get a little bit more out of it, but I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting.
Like, how different is the bike you race now versus like Ashton's? Or any of the other Hondas?
Well, no, they're because he's racing two of them. So you got the Superbike.
Oh, you have two different ones.
Yeah, well, they're the same. Like I haven't put anything Superbike on the Superbike yet. I mean, as far as I know, they're the exact same. I mean, I think I might be the only one running K-Tech.
No, Gabriel's got K-Tech.
Oh, yeah, Gabriel's got K-Tech. Yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the through rod.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, I think besides that, maybe the wheels are different, but yeah, they're all the same.
All right.
And that was another thing is because that was a 24 in World Superbike.
Okay.
It had the split throttle bodies and all that.
Yeah.
So on the side of the tire, the first lap, the thing sounded like a 4-stroke, and I'm like, what in the world is going on with this thing? It sounded like a 450. I'm like, this is a little funky.
No shit.
But yeah, so like that was I don't know. I'm looking forward to getting a 24 here and seeing what the difference is versus the 23. But I don't know. We'll see whenever we get there.
Well, you're still winning by everything on the 23 on the old bike. So,
well, I got my butt handed to me at Laguna.
Well, there's that. Maybe that's why you said you didn't want the World Superbike to come to Laguna.
Laguna's not my favorite track. I will admit that.
Well, at least I mean, like, what is it? Because like we talked before about. I was like, hey, dude, don't be like Fonger and show up, talk to us with Taco Bell internet, dude. No, but Fonger, he's a weirdo, right? Like, he don't like Laguna, but he loves shitty, bumpy tracks like Brainerd.
Yeah. I enjoy. I love Brainerd. Brainerd's a freaking cool track. Like, I don't think like turn 2 at Brainerd is my all-time favorite corner.
Really?
It's just so fast.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd like to have my bike at Most now and try it.
Okay.
Because like there's some cool corners there. But yeah, like I don't know. It is funny because all the kind of crappier, bumpier tracks, because then it's more the rider. Like you can't tune all that stuff out. And like I hate new pavement. Like as soon as Road America got repaved, I was so bummed because all of a sudden everybody all just has hero grip and can go.
Yeah.
And like you can look at even Roebling now that it's really,
I know,
like everybody goes fast, and that's so it frustrates me whenever we get to tracks that are perfect and all of a sudden everybody's going really fast.
Mid Ohio just got repaved.
Yes.
Jersey got repaved.
Yeah. And that's what I love Jersey because that whole first section of the track was shit.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it was.
But like you kind of had to just fight through it and go.
They turned, was it 3A, B,
3A and B?
Oh yeah. You just like bounce through that whole section.
Wow.
And then the wheelie after 3B, and then you just dive into that hard right-hander and you just like sling it in there.
Yeah. So even Laguna, which Laguna's not like the repave job, it wasn't great. But even Laguna, like coming down rainy, how it used to be pretty bumpy coming down through there, like that was always a little bit that you could make up time there because some guys were a little more cautious versus other guys. So I don't know. Yeah,
there used to be that spot on the downside there on the way into rainy where it's like a car had spilled fuel or something, and you run over that and you're like, that's fucked up. Right?
Yeah, I guess me and Bobby are just weird. We just
that. Yeah. I see that.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you can tell just even the way we race. Like me and Bobby are like we're scrappy, and so I think if you're a little bit more on like the scrappy side of how you race and go about things, I think rougher, bumpier tracks are good for us. And then the guys that are a little bit more efficient and like smooth about how they go through their ways, a smooth track is going to be really good for them. So I don't know. I've never really thought that deep into it, but I guess now
makes sense.
Yeah.
I think we need a t-shirt hero grip, man. That's
I know,
a pretty
dude.
Solid one.
The hero grip is
that's
like a shirt I'm brewing.
I know. I thought as soon as he said it, I'm like, that's a t-shirt. We got Stackter, we got Booby.
Yeah, we got to do Stackter.
PM. I trademarked it already. So
yeah.
Oh, is
all
that
right. There it is.
Funny.
Well, we're gonna put your name on the bottom. It'll just be dash Hayden Gilliam.
Yeah, we don't make any money on this crap, dude.
No.
Right? So yeah, this has been fun, dude. I'm not
really
kidding, dude.
it.
I'm like super stoked that you jumped in to talk shit on the internet with us.
Oh yeah. I know you've been hounding me hard about getting on here with
dude,
you.
Your people have been hounding me hard. Like, when are you gonna get Hayden on? I'm like, fucking I don't even have his number yet. So I finally cornered you and I was like, dude, I need your number, man. Like, what the fuck?
It's so funny because I hate this side of motorcycle racing. Like I hate it. I hate social media. I hate it. Like you can go look at my Instagram and there's a 3-year gap where there was nothing. I loved it. Like even whenever I came back in 22, I made one post all year and it was a season recap post. Like I hate it. It's funny, but like whenever I do it, I enjoy it. And so it's kind of like going to the gym or something like that. You really don't want to do it, and then once you get there and you do it, you're like, oh, all right, this is good. So no,
right on.
Thanks for making this happen. And
yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh, I'm not done with you yet.
No, he's got a long form.
No,
he's
dude.
Like,
we're gonna do a real pod where I just talk to you and talk about you telling your story. But this one, give you like an idea of what kind of shit we're gonna say.
Yeah. No, we just like talking about racing and
focused on the World Superbike effort mostly. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
No, we really appreciate.
What a hell of an experience, dude.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, Bobby, I think we're done here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Should we
man.
wrap this shit.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. We really appreciate you coming on, man. It was so cool. Yeah.
Thanks for the fans for watching this.
Yeah,
dude.
I know.
I don't know how many we had. I think we had 8,000 or something watching at some point.
Oh,
but there's like 4,600 something right now. So usually we get it to about the hour and 10 mark, and the numbers start falling.
Off.
We're like, maybe we should shut up at some point.
Yeah,
it's late.
What'd you say?
It's late.
The East Coast.
Yeah. I'm an hour ahead of you.
My kids are an hour past bedtime right now.
Oh man. Well, with that being said, let's wrap this thing, huh? Thanks for everybody. And Ricky Bobby, when's the next Weekend Hangover episode?
We got, let's see, I believe I'm actually driving to OWB Friday, Saturday morning. So I'll be passing through.
Next week?
Yeah, next week. I think they're at Silverstone. Yeah, they're at Silverstone this weekend.
Okay.
Or next weekend. So I know we got a podcast, and I got a couple people I've been talking to about bringing on. So I'm really excited.
Yeah.
MotoGP's back on, and then we got Mid-Ohio in a couple weeks. So pretty stoked for that one too.
Yeah. And I've got Buttonwillow this weekend, and dude, I've got Labor Day weekend at Laguna.
Yes, and my weekend at Pitt is coming up in the beginning of September. The old Moto America weekend with Arma. Finally racing my Triumph again. It's been a long time,
dude. You're gonna have more races under your belt this year than me.
If I get to Vintage Fest, it'll be 3 race weekends. Oh my gosh,
man! Like I haven't even had one yet this year. I think does that mean I'm retired?
Let's see. You rode Coda this year. You rode Groton this year. You rode Laguna this year.
I haven't gone racing. It's not the same. All right, you guys, let's wrap this shit, huh?
This is like.
All right, so I'm ending the stream. So what do you think, Hayden?
It was good. I appreciate it.
It's a good vibe, right? Like it's not.